Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Hardcore issue number 3. You know, I realized when I was doing the This Week in Comics that I couldn't remember what the name of this title was. I'm holding it in my hand, similar to this, and I'm just like, I don't remember what this book is about, but like it's the Andy Diggle one, and it's all the other stuff. The title doesn't really give a whole lot, does it? Really terrible name choice for a comic book. You know, like sounds cool, but if it doesn't tell you about the comic book, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to forget a Superman or a Spider-Man or a Captain America? Ain't nobody going to forget those. You know what I'm saying? But if you just say something like hardcore, yeah, it's terrible. Maybe try something like, hidden spy chameleon brain chip guy. Because I don't think anybody's going to forget that one. That's my advice. Let's get talking about something for real. This comic book, dude. So we got Hardcore is created by Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri. Andy Diggle does the strip. The strip. Andy Diggle was stripping in this one. Andy Diggle actually did the script. I don't know the state of his clothing while he was doing this. Alejandro Vitti did the art. Adriano Lucas did the colors. Thomas Maurer on letters and the cover. Dan Panosian. Look, man, all I'm saying... Oh, sorry. Another artist. Andreas Juarez did the logo and production design. All I'm saying is that for this Image Skybound comic, any of these people could be on my team any day of the week. Like, this is such a solid comic book, except for whoever thought up the name. Whoever thought up the name needs to rethink their life. But aside from that, now this is like such a great team working on this, man. So first off, you get the assassination of President Obama, former President Obama. That happens. He's the president during this one, and he actually winds up getting killed in this one. Now, we don't actually see him being killed, but we can assume that he's on Air Force One when Air Force One goes boom, which is, wow, man, that's bold. That's brave. I get a feeling a whole bunch of right-wingers are going to jump on this comic book in a heartbeat. Yeah! Screw that Kenyan guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, wow, man. Wow. Anyway, so the cat playing Esteban, he has to try and find some people who are sympathetic to him. So he goes to the people who originally tagged Esteban's actual body, the actual Esteban. All right, and what do you call it? So the four of them are supposed to go and try and find a way out of this country. The problem is they can't, because the people who were sent to pick them up, turns out the main bad guy knew about this all the time. Now, you may notice that the only name I said during this entire situation was Esteban. There's another problem with the comic book. The comic book doesn't have an intro page. It doesn't have a page, like back, all this wasted space in the beginning where it's like, oh, this person did this person did that, and a whole big pretty picture. You could have the pretty picture and like a paragraph where you mention what happened previously and very pointedly specify people's names. Maybe even have a picture or two of the people. No, just something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy in Esteban's body goes up to, agent such and such and such and such because, it's important. This way I can go back and I could look and I could be reminded of who these people are. They're not just faces that are going to be forgettable. That's the problem. This is a great comic book, okay? The script is awesome. The art on this, the colors, the lettering, everything, it's as professional gets, baby. The problem is, without that introduction page, you have no idea what the hell is happening in this book as far as a refresher. Okay? You gotta, I'm not gonna read the entire comic book again and start skimming for people's names. I'm not gonna, or I'd be scanning for people's names, actually skimming and scanning. I remember those lessons from English class. I'm not going to start hunting down people's names, you know what I'm saying, to talk about this review. And therefore, nobody's going to be looking for their names again after they finish the comic book. Many people read the comic book once and put it to the side. It's even more so if you're reading it digitally. You know what I'm saying? You're getting right through it and waiting for those pages to load sometimes. It's like, dude, come on, man. I can flip the page way quicker than this. I don't even have to lick my fingers, all right? This was, for instance, case in point. Do you remember right now if I actually have the physical copy or the digital copy? Exactly. You'd have to go back to the beginning of the video. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? By the way, for the sake of conversation, it's physical copy. Look, man, it's a messed up thing when you start forgetting people's names in the comic books, because then you're just trying to remember faces. And unfortunately, these aren't like, you're not looking at the Fantastic Four and stuff like that. You're not looking at the Hulk versus the Thing here. All right, these aren't the X-Men. These aren't recognizable faces. These are just people's faces that are drawn and put together. I don't remember anybody. I remember Esteban's name because that was mentioned several times, and he's the guy whose body is being puppeted, but there's no soul in there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all the other guy, the Burn Notice guy. This that kills me. There needs to be an introduction page that will at least remind you of the names, if not actually show their pictures and put pictures with faces. Without that, this comic book remains obscure. It remains forgettable. One of the most important key features of a comic book is that first page that with the credits that tells you, quick blurb about what's been happening so far. This comic book is not going to be ultra uber successful without something like that, because they're forgettable characters, and that's just the way it is. And think about it. If this is just a 5 or 6 issue miniseries, an 8 issue, whatever, if this is meant to end after just a couple of issues, what are the chances of them doing a volume 2? And what's the purpose of doing one single arc when you got a character like this who could go on multiple arcs, multiple storylines, and just make a killing? But if nobody can remember who Hardcore, like, it's such an obscure title, it's such and not a memorable one, and no name recognition for any of the characters here, this comic book, as good as it is, and it is good, is doomed to fall into obscurity and never be remembered. Even if they made 6 more volumes after this, people just aren't going to remember it, because why the hell should we? Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. They need to do a better job of these comics over an Image. I'm just saying. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.